Hi, I'm Chris Lozano and welcome back to Sip and Sizzle. You're probably wondering, where have you been? Probably thinking that we took the winter off. No, that's not the case at all. Here at Sip and Sizzle, we actually cook outdoors year round. The truth of the matter is we've had some technical difficulties, which we hope that we've resolved and they are behind us now, and we can continue to bring you new videos on a more consistent basis. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for coming back. Actually, this is the first of two videos we shot back in the summer before we started having these technical difficulties. So we didn't want those to go by the wayside because we did put a lot of work into them. And that's some really good videos that we think that you'll enjoy. So we're going to start with this first one, which has to do with learning how to use a pellet smoker tube. So hope you enjoy it. And here we go. Hi, I'm Chris Lozano and welcome to Sip and Sizzle, the show where we talk about outdoor cooking and find local craft beer. And today we're going to be learning how to use a pellet smoker tube. Before we get into all that, again, I am not sponsored, so any of the brands that I talk about come from the heart. The brands that I use are brands that I love, and I'm not making money off of any of them. So that being the case, let's get into what I'm drinking. Today I'm sipping on a Classic City Lager. Classic City Lager comes out of Creature Comforts Brewery out of Athens, Georgia, home of the University of Georgia Bulldogs. This is a nice, crisp lager, perfect for a hot summer day. Can't beat it for that very nice, crisp taste. And it's one of those easy drinking beers. They go down so smooth, so you better watch it. However, it pairs with pretty much anything. Anything you want to drink, or excuse me, anything you want to eat goes great with this beer. Again, Classic City Lager from Creature Comforts out of Athens, Georgia. Okay, so getting into this smoker tube. Now, I think it's safe to assume that if you're watching this video, you do not own a smoker. I do not own a smoker. And just simply because I love my grill, and not everything that I cook outside needs to taste like smoke or have that smoke flavor to it. And my wife's definitely a fan of that thought too. So I love my grill too much. So quite frankly, I don't have room for a grill and a smoker. So I use a smoker tube and this thing works fine. Now, if you were to look up reviews, you're going to see mixed reviews. A lot of people either love it or hate it, very much in between. And I've actually spoken with some friends too, and they're mixed bag as well. The people who actually know how to use the smoker tube love it. You get some fine smoke flavor from the smoker tube. The people who don't like it, that are giving it the bad reviews, they don't know how to use it. So that's why I'm making this video, to show you exactly how to use a pellet smoker tube. Now, granted, it is a lot of extra work. I'm not going to lie. If you don't want the extra work, then it's simple. Go get a smoker. But if you're like me and you don't have one, this is perfect, and you'll go those extra steps for really great tasting smoked food. So that's why we're going to get into it right now, to show you exactly how to use this the correct way. So you can get one of these at your local grilling store, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatnot. I got this one actually off of Amazon. I got a twin pack, comes with two. And we'll talk about using more than one a little later in the video. Also, what you're going to need is a butane torch lighter, one of these. That is essential. A lot of people want to use one of those little long-ended click lighters. That's not going to work. You're going to need the butane torch lighter, and you'll see why once we get into it. Okay, we're going to get into this. Now, again, using your butane lighter, this is filled with hickory pellets, and you're going to start torching it. Start getting it hot all the way around. You're going to start seeing a flame, and just keep the torch on it. The flame is going to start building up, and just stay with it. All right? As you see the flames dancing around, it's a little windy out here. This is what you want. You want these pellets to start catching. And it's going to take a while. It's going to take a few minutes for this to start. As you can see, we have a flame here, and it's going to go out, which is fine. That's normal. Don't give up. Keep going. Torch it again. All right? When the flame's lasting a little bit longer that time, it just went out. So we're going to keep at it. And so the idea is to get it to where the flame stays and these pellets start burning on their own. is, as you can see, look around here at the rim, the smoke is already starting to pour out. So that flame is going to dance. And you want this dancing flame for about 10-15 minutes. Once it gets 10-15 minutes, you're going to start seeing a more consistent smoke coming out of the bottom, like you're seeing that right there. That's what you're looking for. Once you start having that, again, 10-15 minutes tops, it's time to transfer to your grill. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes. As you can see now, I don't have the dancing flame, but that's okay. I've got the smoke. You see how those pellets have caught with the fire and the heat, and they're smoking now, but it's only at the top. Now it is time to put on the gas grill or your charcoal grill, whichever one you have. You're going to put it over the heated side. All right, so now we are going to put our smoker tube down carefully on the grill grates, right above the burner that's lit. Now the tube is inside, and again, this is going to require a little more patience on your part because it's smoking a little bit now, but this is nothing compared to what it's going to be. Because as I showed you, the pellets at the top have caught the heat and are smoking, but the rest of that mesh smoker, that mesh tube is metal. And so as it sits above the lit burner, that metal is going to heat. As that metal heat, the rest of the pellets are going to catch, and it's really going to kick into high gear, but that's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes. Again, I know patience is a virtue that I don't have, but it's something that I have learned, because in the end, it's going to be great. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you another shot once this thing catches and it's actually going, and you'll see the result you're looking for. Now, as far as the tube itself, the time, it varies on how long one tube full of pellets is going to last. You're going to hear 20 minutes, you're going to hear up to 5 hours. I haven't seen the 5 hours, just heard about it. But again, it all goes on what you're cooking with. See, I know my grill, and for example, I'm actually cooking this particular recipe at 275 degrees Fahrenheit. So I know what my burner needs to be set at to get to that temperature. So the way I have that tube on top of the burner, immediately on top of the burner, and where I got that burner set and how high that flame is, my tubes only last about 20 to 30 minutes. But that's okay. I've got multiple tubes. It really depends. For, I don't know, seafood, one tube is going to do you. For ribs, one, maybe two, depending on how much smoke you like. But for something like a pork butt, that's going to require 2 to 3 tubes. But keep in mind, a lot of people, you get wrapped up and, okay, it's smoked for 5 hours. Look, there comes a time in every cook where the food, the meat, is going to stop taking on more smoke. And you're just dealing with heat at that point. It's going to form a nice, beautiful bark. And once it forms that bark, it's not going to take on any more smoke. So when you hear people talk about smoking for 5 hours, a lot of that is heat, the cooking process, because that smoking part is taking on so much smoke in a certain amount of time, in a given amount of time. That's it. So anyway, there you go. That's the thing on the smoker tube and what to expect. All right, it looks like our smoke tube has started to catch on here, and it's been about 20 minutes. Again, take some patience, but you want to take a look inside here. It's just now, as you can see, how the smoke is already starting to fulfill the whole tube there. Can't keep this open too long because it's burning my eyes, but at this point is when you want to add your meat. So that's it. As far as how long this is going to last, again, it really depends on how high you have your burners, how high you have your charcoal, what have you, on that heated side of your grill. So hopefully this has been helpful, and you can use this tube however you see fit to smoke some fine meats. Thank you for joining. If you haven't, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. And remember, support your local businesses, support your local breweries. I'm Chris Lozano. Thank you for tuning in to Sip and Sizzle, and we'll be back soon with another video.